Hi there, and welcome to our August Stamp of the Month blog hop with Close to My Heart. This month's Stamp of the Month set is this really cool Halloween set that's called Wicked, and I just love it. I've been playing with it a lot already. I want to show you a new thing included with our stamp sets starting this month. There's a little carrier sheet inside with some artwork by Corporate, and it also lets you know that the assembly tips for all those items are going to be available online for a year, so you can always find them and put together those items later. My project for this blog hop is a pillow box, and it's made using our new Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. If you don't have a Gypsy, or if you're like me and you haven't done the most recent update yet, you won't be able to link your cartridge to the Gypsy. So you'll want to play around a little bit with your cuts. Depending on what images you're going to use or what you're going to put in it will depend on your size. I wanted to make sure this witch would fit on it. So I grabbed this image and I played around with it a little. I guessed that 8 inches would be a good size to cut that at, and it happened to work out perfectly. That doesn't always happen the first time, so that was kind of nice. I've already cut that on my Cricut, but let me tell you how you do that. There is a feature key called Font Layer. You're going to want to push that. You're going to want to press the Shift key because that pillow box is one of the items that's shown in gray in here. And anything that's in gray, all these, actually it's the right column, anything in the right column, and most of them are gray in this book, are going to be used with the Shift key. So I've got my 2 buttons pushed, and then I just select the button for that image. It'll pop up, if you have an expression, it'll pop up on your screen to show you you've chosen the correct image, and then you can load your mat and cut it out on your paper. Alright, I've got the pillow box cut out, and I started assembling it. I always use score tape to assemble my boxes. This is not a Close to My Heart product. However, this I think holds up the best for boxes and 3-dimensional objects. It just seems to stick a lot better. Even though I love my Tombow, this does not hold up as well for items that are going to be pushed and manipulated. So there's just a little flap to fold over that I've already adhered down here. And I used my handy dandy bone folder to fold all my creases before I glued that tab down. That's just a, what is that, $4.95. It's a $4.95 tool, and they're really useful to have hanging around to really get your creases sharp. Now the ends of this are curved, so you're not going to use your bone folder for that. You just kind of have to manipulate it with your fingers, and then you're going to pop the first side down. You're always going to want to fold the side with the hole in it in first, so you can get a finger in there to open it, or rather your recipient can. And then the complete side folded down second. Now, of course, I want to decorate my box, so I decided it needed a belly band. But like most of you, I'm on a budget, so I don't have any of the new Halloween paper yet. So I really like this pear green, so I pulled out this pattern paper from the Sophia paper packet. I had some left over. And just backed it with some black cardstock for a little bit of contrast. And I'm just going to wrap that around my box, and I've got some score tape adhesive on one end of that also. I'm just going to press it down. Okay, so there's that. Next, I used the sentiment stamp image from my set, and I flipped through the book to find a shape that would work well for the tag, to run some ribbon through it to hold it around, and I found one on page 35. And again, I measured the stamp to see how large it was so that I knew what size object I needed. And I wound up needing to cut this particular tag on page 35 at 1 3/4 inches, and then I wanted to use the same solid shape down here, the matching one, for the witch, but turned the other way, and that wound up needing to be cut at 2 1/4 inches. Okay, so for my sentiment, I just went ahead and embossed that with white embossing powder on black, and I loaded it on some sunset ribbon. That ribbon comes from one of our mini medley packs right here. Comes with an assortment of goodies, and it's different for all colors. You can see those online. And I just stuck a glue dot on one end. I love the way the glue dots will hold onto the ribbon. And then I'll slide it to where it's even in the middle. I'm going to bring it around back and decide how long that needs to be, and I'm just going to cut it off with my micro tip scissors. Mine are old. They now come with the purpley color handles instead of gray. Those are $9.95 if you're in the market for some fine tip scissors. They're great for cutting out stamped images if you like to do that sort of thing. Alright, I stuck a glue dot on the other end of my ribbon, and I'm going to stick that down. Okay, so that side looks nice and cute. And then the other item that I cut out, I went ahead and stamped the witch image on. And I just colored in her skin with a Copic marker, a skin color. And I colored in her stockings and the underside of her hat with a sunset marker. Now, to cover up any little mistakes I might have made or anything like that, and to give it a little added depth, I'm just going to sponge on some sunset stamping ink from the stamp pad. And I like to use these little sponge daubers. You get a pack of 3, and they're really, really cheap too, so I love those. I'm just going to pop that around the outside edge here. Go really fast. Okay, that's it. I really like the way that looks. I always like that. Alright, then I'm just going to grab my Tombow. This is where my Tombow adhesive comes in. Give it a few swipes of Tombow across there. It doesn't have to be perfect because she's just going to cover up the seam of the paper and the ribbon on the other side. Alright, unfold my box a little bit so I can get her kind of popped on there better. Okay, and then we'll fold it back up, and voila, we're done. Isn't she beautiful? Very nice. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon.